and I have been filling in for you and Carmen this week, and we have talked at length about the excitement around what we saw from Caleb Williams on Saturday against Buffalo. You were on for the postgame show. You've been listening to all the various talking heads speak about Caleb Williams and the excitement level here in the city about this player after 2 drives. And you want to rain on everyone's parade today.
No, that's not at all.
You want to come in here on a Wednesday. How many days this week are you working? Because you're off on Friday,
Wednesday
too, right?
and Thursday.
Yeah, Wednesday. You want to come into town
for
the Wednesday and Thursday and just rain on everyone's parade and then skedaddle out of here.
I am not looking to do that at all. That is not what I am looking to do. I was asked to assess his play. I gave it a solid B-.
Okay.
And that's where it belongs, a solid B-. B- gets you what? Gets you on the honor roll, doesn't it?
I think so.
Solid B-. I mean, listen, remember, they didn't result in touchdowns, these drives. There are a couple of nice plays that were in there. The throw to Kmet where he's on the move, on the run, evaded the defensive end. That throw was thrown behind Cole Kmet. Cole Kmet stopped, ended up bringing the ball in. He'll probably almost dropped it. He might have even dropped it, but he gets the ball in. Nice completion. The pass to DJ Moore. Everything's great. Everything's moving fine. Everything looks fantastic. The question is he better than Justin Fields? And that answer was a crystal clear yes. Yes. The Bears made the right move. They made the right move. They let Justin Fields go for a song and a dance. Hopefully that becomes a 4th rounder for the Chicago Bears. Is Caleb Williams better than Justin Fields? Answer is yes. Yes.
And you can tell that immediately through 2 series.
That's it.
And I think every Bears fan can notice that immediately.
And that's what Bears fans should be excited about.
From game 1, Williams is obviously a better choice than Justin Fields. Whether or not, and I'm with you, Jurko, and part of the conversation we've been having this week is that we can be excited. We can also acknowledge the fact that they did not score touchdowns, and there's a lot of work to do.
Yes.
But he seems to get it.
Yes.
He seems to be calm in the pocket. Right. He goes through his progressions, and he seems to be a quarterback that's different than what we've seen in the past in a Bears uniform.
Right.
That's exciting. There's a lot of work to do.
Oh, of course. Of course there's a ton of work to do. It wasn't perfect. If it was perfect, you throw the A out there. But it wasn't perfect. It wasn't remotely close to being perfect. You wouldn't expect it to be perfect. And anybody that thought it would be perfect is kind of fooling themselves a little bit. There's going to be better football played by Caleb Williams in the offense as the season goes on. I'd still like to find a way to get him 25 to 30 more plays in the preseason. The more experience he gets, the better off it will be. The moment wasn't too big for him, which is another great thing. It wasn't too big for him. He didn't get out there and all of a sudden panic. Everything seemed to flow naturally for them. All the troubles they had in training camp, there were no troubles to be seen.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
And I think what goes along with that is I'm comparing him to year 3 Justin Fields, what we saw last year.
Right.
And that's where this is the first time on a field for Caleb Williams. This is not year 3. Like the amount of progress that could take place by the time we get to year 3 with this player, I think could really be special.
Right. When you give up on a player, Justin Fields, you acquire a player. When you acquire the player, what you're telling me is he's going to be better than Justin Fields was where he was at. I'm getting this guy 1st overall pick. He will be better than Justin Fields after his 3rd year coming into his 4th year. And what anybody was able to see and what I was able to see, which made me excited, which allowed me to give him a nice positive grade, was the fact that he did go out there and it wasn't too big for him. He wasn't overwhelmed. He's played in pressure games in college. You could see how calm and how mature he was out on the football field. So which tells me that he is that much better than Justin Fields in his rookie year compared to the 3rd year of Justin Fields, which every Chicagoan should be excited about and every Bear fan should be excited about. But just hold yourself in check. There's a lot more to come. And guess what? There's a lot more to come. He's going to make some mistakes.
Yeah, he will. And that's like something
going to go negative on him either.
That we talk about this, like he's aced the media side of things since he's been drafted. And we kind of always throw the caveat out there, like just wait and see how he responds after a 3-interception game in a Bears loss by 17. You know, like I'm guessing his response to the media won't be as cordial or as perfect as he's been to this point when things aren't going well. Everything to this point, essentially has gone well for him. You played against great quarterbacks. You chased great quarterbacks. You also were teammates with great quarterbacks. It's something that I assume, as someone who just watches football, who never played, that you can see the difference between someone who will be great and someone who's just got like mid-level expectations. They'll never get to that next step.
I also can't predetermine what his response is in a negative situation where you have the scenario that you played out. I can't predetermine what his response is going to be. He may handle that perfectly.
Well, no one can, because Lincoln Riley the last 2 years shielded him from the media when SC would lose games. Lincoln Riley would not allow him to speak to the media. And in fact, Lincoln Riley would ditch out on his media obligations when USC was struggling at the end of last season as well. So we don't know.
As big as USC is and all the media attention they get out in Los Angeles, as big as it is,
it's not the same.
It's not the NFL.
No,
and it's not the NFL monster. And the scrutiny that one comes under, you've got to be able to ignore the scrutiny. That's the greatest gift any player can have, is the ability to ignore it. And it comes from all directions. It comes from social media. It comes from this, it comes from that. If you don't have an ability to ignore what happens on your phone, then you shouldn't have a phone. You shouldn't be on anything. You shouldn't, have your buddies sending you, hey, look what they said about you, what they did.
Yeah, right.
You need to get rid of that, and you just need to go about it. If you don't care or you're impervious to it, Favre didn't give a rat's ass what anybody thought of him. He was going to go out, he was going to drink, he was going to have a good time, and he was going to show up the next morning and do the best he could. That's it.
You mean you don't read the Twitch comments or the mentions on social media, Jurko?
People are entitled to have their thoughts. People are entitled to have their thoughts, both positive and negative.
What do they say about
Whatever
opinions? Everyone has one?
Yeah.
Like something else?
Yeah. Like blank.
Yeah,
they all stink.
Exactly.
They all stink.
Yes, exactly.
And that's fine. If somebody wants to say my opinions stink too, like Peggy does. Peggy Kaczynski, my radio partner.
She didn't like your opinion.
Oh, boy, I tell you.
Oh, no.
Man alive.
She's your partner.
Yeah. Listen, when I'm doing post-game shows, right? I leave my pom-poms at home, my saddle shoes and my leather sweater. All that stays at home, okay? I come out here for some hardcore football analysis. That's what I'm here for.
That's what we're here for.
The cheerleading outfit, the pom-pom outfit stays at home. I don't bring it out. I don't break the saddle shoes out.
And you're on the network post-game show.
The Letterman sweater.
You're on the official Chicago Bears network post-game show.
Yeah.
And you leave the pom-poms at home.
I have to analyze and provide solid analysis, even if it is a meaningless exhibition game in the preseason. Everybody goes 0-0. But the reps are important for the individual players, especially for those trying to make the team.
Coach Jurko, how would you handle this week? There's a fear from me and some other Bears fans that the Bears will mimic what the Bengals are setting up for this week. They have a hard practice tomorrow, a joint practice at Hallis Hall tomorrow. Zach Taylor has already said, he said on Monday that he's not expecting his starters to play on Saturday in the preseason game, Bengals and Bears. There's a fear that the Bears will go into the hard practice on Thursday, claim that they get all of their work done.
Like they did last year.
They will rest the starters on Saturday in an actual preseason game. How would Coach Jurko handle that?
I would handle this regardless of what Cincinnati's plan is. I stick with my plan. If my plan was to play my guys the first quarter or into the second quarter, I play my guys into the first quarter or into the second quarter. Whatever my plan was, regardless of what Cincinnati's going to do, is what I'm doing, period. I'm not making an announcement. I'm not making anything. I'm telling my guys, hey, this is the way we're doing it. We're going to go out there. We're going to sharpen everything. We're going to make everything look good, because my want then would be for the game 4 for no starter to play. Not game 3. Play him game 3. Get him a little more action. Pull him out of there. Game 4, give the guys a rest. And then you've got 18 days or 17 days? 17 days until the start of the NFL season.
So you would put the pedal to the floor, go after this Saturday, get your work done in the first half.
Get to work done.
And then shut it down until the start of the regular season.
Caleb gets 25 plays this week. 25 plays. When he gets to his 25th play, I pull him and I pull the guys and say, excellent effort, but fellas, get this one, the 4th game. All the rookies get, all the young kids get. Not one starter plays, all the young kids play, and say, fight for your positions, fellas. This is the time.
Now, playing in the preseason, I get that for starters and those who are established, it doesn't mean a lot. can you build the confidence, though, that rolls over into the regular season? Like going out there and being clean, like the way the Bears offense handled, the first team offense handled last week against Buffalo, if you roll that forward to this weekend and you have another good quarter and a half where no big mistakes, you're moving they were eating up yardage. That first team offense, running the football, moving it through the air. They were progressing. And if you could do that again against Cincinnati, can you really build confidence into week one, or does it really not matter because it's all preseason and it's all kind of garbage?
No, there's nothing wrong with building confidence. There's nothing wrong with building a camaraderie within the team and with good things happening around you. I mean, it's not a false bravado that they would have. You busted your ass all off season. You came into training camp. You took it seriously. Then you started playing in some games, and you got yourself a little bit of a confidence. Rain short and win. Remember, they're 0-0 when they go into the league. So whatever you did going up to this is fantastic. And it gives you guys some confidence, and you think you're going to be a good football team. You kind of proved it into the season, but now you've got to reestablish yourself in the regular season.
You got three.
Nobody's going to roll over for you.
You have what? 3 new skill position players on offense, an offensive line that's been in and out of the lineup throughout training camp, and a new quarterback with a new offensive coordinator and new offense overall.
Yeah.
I think you can build some confidence heading into the regular season.
Davis, this is the week I'm playing Nate Davis. Nate Davis has got his equipment on today. Nate Davis was practicing today. This is when I want to see Nate Davis now. Give me that first unit that I want to have out there. Let me see what that unit looks like for a quarter and a half.
I would imagine tomorrow's a tough practice. We'll see if Nate Davis is there. Like today was a shorter practice. Pads were on, but it was short.
I would only assume that he's going to be there. He got the memo. If he didn't get the memo, I don't know how much you got to knock a guy upside the head to give him a memo. They gave him the memo last week. Okay, you're week to week. What the hell with this data? Tired of answering questions about you.
Right.
I'm tired of it. Every day I go, they ask me about you. Week to week, call me next week, and I'll tell you what I think about him next week.
You never wanted the coach to be answering questions about you week to week, right?
No, ever. Never wanted to be a topic of conversation. Or is it, Jurko's playing so well, are you surprised by how good he's playing, or how well he's playing?
Was that ever a situation? Were you ever the topic of conversation week to week during training camp?
Because I was a pleasant surprise.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I actually was playing well. I was going to be on the cutting room floor. The first 2-3 years I went to camp, and they do the projected lineups and the guys that are going to make the 53. Oh, I was always on the scrap heap. And I was twice. My first 2 years, I was on the scrap heap. I got cut both years.
But then the third year, you were a pleasant surprise.
Yeah, I was a pleasant surprise.
You would have been featured on Hard Knocks if you were
been a Hard Knocks guy in 92.
You would have been the best Hard Knocks guy.
But in 92, the teams didn't have editorial control like they didn't in the first half of 5 years they did this. Yeah. And then somebody got editorial control. I mean, I watched the Bears one this morning. You want to talk about putting somebody to sleep. Is that
talk
the
about
object?
It.
Yeah. Is that the object of Hard Knocks?
We'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it.
We'll get to it. Also, if you want to join us, you can call us at 312-332-3776. Jurko, did you see yesterday that Matt Eberflus possibly slipped up while talking to the media on whether or not the Bears are going after a defensive edge rusher? Did you see that? We'll hear from Eberflus